What up? I found my other phone. Yay! So, I really want to talk about mentality in particular, having a limited mentality, right? Now, somebody talked up a 20-minute video in response to something I came across, a tone space portion of a certain show. Clicked on it, and tone space, it be happening like that, like crazy. It just is what it is. And that happened. Boom. Tone space as soon as I, clicked on some bullshit or whatever, right? But let me address some things, and I want to liken it to something of a higher thing. Even if I'm talking about some little small individuals, just keep in mind the main point that I'm getting at is of a higher mentality, a bigger message for those that can get it. Might only be 10%. It is what it is. If one person gets it, understands, relates, learns, cool. So a limited mentality. So when I found this tone spatial portion of the show that I clicked on, this dude was talking this stuff about, I guess he was playing like his group, Black Sector Mafia music and all that. And then I think he had finished the song. Because when I heard the tone space portion of the show, I rewinded it a little bit to see if that was the very beginning of it. And it just about was. It's just like right before that, I think he was playing a song from the group I was in or whatever, right? So then he starts saying, yeah, see, BSMC, yeah, Tone Space could rap. We all could rap. But, with all of us, you could tell we're like from the hood, like his energy. He just never had any personality. All the rest of us, we had a personality. You could feel us when you listen to us. And then his part come on and all this back talk, double talk, switch up talk, because during the time that, me and him were on a cooler, amicable level, oh man, forget about it. He's done like wilded out on his live presentation talking about Tone Space, yo, he's the best rapper in the world. He went from that, and then a year or two later, he was saying, yeah, yo, if you focus, you could be the best rapper in the world. He recognizes me as the best rapper in the world, like half as much as I do myself. It's crazy, y'all. But this is what was going on. And then there was a particular song we did, Wonder Why, where, he really showed his ass on that song. He went challenging other people, putting my verse up against it. Yeah, Tone Space, listen to him on Wonder Why, Wonder Why, Wonder Why, Wonder Why. Everything was Wonder Why. I thought the Wonder Why t-shirts were about to come out with just me on it. So, he used to introduce me when we did duo songs. And now I like to introduce my motherfucking nigga, Tone Space. You think it's a WWE entrance? He was acting like my manager, like a WWE manager. I'm not embellishing. This is all true fact. But in particular, or should I say, he kind of like, did the top off thing with me throughout all of my music at the point we were cool. But right before us having a falling out, the Wonder Why was the last thing that he was, getting busy with the top, proverbially. I know he likes that, so I don't want to say like realistically. I know what I mean. He was doing, the top off thing with that one, like right before our fallout. So now, even though he switches up his whole story, Tone Space, you got personality. Now I can rap. Sometimes, you can't rap. You don't be saying nothing, or you just say a bunch of words. You know what I'm saying? What's a Casimir bubble and all this other bullshit, right? But he will not. He knows to say that the Wonder Why verse was dope. Right now, everything else I did on Black Sector Mafia was trash, but the Wonder Why shit was fire. Coincidentally. And coincidentally, that was the one that he, at the cusp of us not being cool, that was the latest thing he was bigging up. So come on now, is that a coincidence, or is that just him trying to save face? Because he knows that that's going to be on people's minds still. So it's like, I can't front about the Wonder Why. But fuck it, I can front about all the other shit. They may not remember all that other shit that I used to big them up on, and introducing them, walking down the entrance ring. They ain't gonna remember that, but they're gonna remember Wonder Why. So now it's like, that's the only shit that was hot. Also, when I was cool with them, like the idiots in the chat room, they literally parrot whatever. You want to talk about diaper typers? You find the best diaper typers over on this particular guy's shit. Whatever he says, whoever he's going against, they're against. They got something to say. You know what I'm saying? Diaper typing. That's what I call that. When we were cool, right? I do something. Oh, Tone, you ripped it. Niggas would cite me out specifically in BSM group songs, aside from Wonder Why, other joints. And a lot of niggas would point out my verses being dope, like, yo, he ripped it, da 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 da. You know what happened for other people too. I'm not saying just me. The other cats that's in there now, it definitely happened a lot with Bar Powers when he was in there or whatever. So I'm not singling myself out saying that, it was only me. But the point I'm making is, as soon as we weren't cool, now this shit in the chat room is like, yeah, Tone, he used to throw off the vibe in the BSM songs. Yeah, his shit is whack. Oh yeah, but that Wonder Why is dope. Because the host of the show is saying the Wonder Why is dope and everything else is trash. You feel me? It's just all fake, idiotic tomfoolery, dumb mentality, right? So starting there, but the main thing I want to touch on, as per request of a 20-minute video from somebody in this thing, one of them niggas that be doing that shit, not as bad as others though, but he be top, doing that shit a little bit too. He has a couple side accounts where he actually goes at this other nigga, and the nigga's too stupid to even peep game. But I ain't here to talk about that, right? Spider-Man and shit. Well, that's the old one. Anyway, the point I'm making is he's saying like, yeah, you could tell we're all from the street. Tone, he be sounding like a nerd, no personality, this, that. Now, I'd feel like a herb getting on here and defending my having of a personality. That's just like stupid. I'm a grown man. It's very embedded in me. So I'm not gonna specifically speak on that. I'm not a person. How would I sound saying that? But I'll just say, out of that collective that they like to call the Black Sector, I have the most collabs by far with people. Like everyone that does music, they've collabed with me more than anyone else. The permutations of collabs, you cannot find any other people with any other people in the Black Sector near as much as me. I've collabed with, 10 to 12 folks already. And a lot of them came to me, not to flex. I enjoyed it. It was good shit. We made fire shit. And some of them I want to keep making fire shit with. You feel me? But the point is, like, if somebody is they're not gonna have that magnetism to attract so much collabs with folks. You feel me? Now I know a big part of that is just my enthusiasm. I know I carry off a real good fun enthusiasm for music and for artistic shit that's, well received and noticed. So I know a large part of that is for that. Oh yeah, I know Tone Space gonna want to do something, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, but that goes into personality too. You feel me? And as far as groups in general, prior to BSM, like from junior high school onward, I've been in mad groups, whether it's Necro and the MPLR, whether it's Illogical back in high school, whether it's me and my man Norman in junior high, Twin Towers, me and Joey Numbers, Crime Extra Large, my most notorious group all through high school. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to Brooklyn Damien. We actually did an EP. I think he's trying to re-release it, but hopefully we get some new music popping. Shout out to all the people I collab with, the duos I've been in. Oh, When Worlds Collide, the worldwide album I did back in the mid 2000s with people from all over the country. Pussy Cotton and Xandrillion and me. What was that shit called? Street Puffins or some shit. Long story short, I collabed. I've been involved in a lot of shit. Like a lot of people. I had the pleasure of working with them, let me say that. But a lot of the times, they were definitely enthusiastic of fucking with me. So when you hear niggas say, oh, he throws off the vibe, this, that, da, 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 talking all this nerd shit. Now, I'm going to own some of that nerd shit, right? I'm going to own some of that because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because that goes into the main thing I'm talking about a limited mentality. This person talking all this shit, he also will critique someone's rhymes and saying, oh, it ain't hood for them to say, to use certain words, certain verbiage, to have a well expansive lexicon and use unconventional words, so to speak. And even words that aren't that unconventional, that's just unconventional to him. He'll say, oh, that ain't gangster, that ain't street. What? So a person to be gangster or street or anything has to have a limited vocabulary. You see what I'm getting at? That limited mentality. He's made a straw man. He's made a template, an archetype of what he seen a gangster is supposed to be in the public eye and media, and he's trying to copy and fit into that. And when people don't copy and fit into that, he's gonna talk shit about him, because that's what he's doing. You could hear it when he does his little songs, his little freestyles. Countless joints of him trying to bubba knocked out, mumbling, trying to sound like an 18, 19-year-old, trying to sound like the latest mumbly weird shit that's out there on the streets. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm of the mentality of one being themselves, and let yourself out. Do you. So someone like me, if I happen to have a good lexicon, or I don't have any limits. I don't look at certain things and say, oh, I can't do that because it doesn't fit this mold. Fuck that mold. You feel me? Like, even on a successful level of someone that does that, Drake. I never listened to him before, but since the new beef with him and the other dude been going on, I've been checking some of his shit, and I notice when he talks like a dude that's grown up in a middle class to an upper class environment on his casual everyday talk. But then when he raps, whoever he's rapping with or whatever type of song it is, he'll put on that accent. If he's rapping with an Atlanta dude, now he has an Atlanta slang. He's rapping with a Midwest person, a Midwest slang. Yo, that is some herb shit. That shit sound embarrassing, but the people eat it up, so I can't knock them if niggas is buying that. But I can't buy that, B. That's fake. This nigga has no personality. So when people talk about that, he doesn't write his own rhymes, and he be biting people's shit and their dances and moves and their styles, well, he's kind of telling on himself. He be switching up his voice, and the shit sound corny to me when he puts on a Midwest accent or trying to get a Southern drawl that's not really him. Tokyo, Toronto, Canada, upper middle class shit that you grew up with. You know what I'm saying? I think he's part Jamaican or something, West Indies. Okay, I heard him on kind of like a West Indies vibe song. And the funny thing is he did that well. You could tell that came more natural to him. Well, I can't tell him what the fuck to do, because whatever he's doing is working for him. But so let me just talk to other people that think doing shit like that is the shit. Copying other niggas or trying to fit into a mold. Yeah, it might have worked for that nigga, but he probably got a whole lot more going on that accounts to the reason of why he's on such upper level. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all that bullshit, that's herb shit. That nigga sounds like a herb. Just like Kamala Harris, herb shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another example I had. Like just trying to fit in. Fuck all that fitting in shit. Because usually what's in that you're trying to fit into you're gonna find is gonna be below your potential. The latest shit that's considered cool and all this, the shit is bullshit. Yet this nigga in his freestyles, he's trying to sound like these other niggas, and it sounds terrible. Cause you could tell that he's trying to, the other LA dude I'm talking about, you could tell he's trying to fit into some mold and shit. So yeah, if I sound like a nerd, good. I should sound like a nerd to you that has this archetype of what a hood cat is supposed to sound like. I'm from New York. We're a bit sophisticated out here. I know a lot of people that's like that. That doesn't mean I don't come from hood conditions, environments, and there are people that'll hear my shit, and even if I pronounce my words better, they could still sense the sincerity and understand what I'm saying. At least New York niggas can. And I've kind of had to take a step back and look at it. I find that there are actually people that's out there that are comparable to my vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Immortal Technique. The way he rhymes, the way he talks off camera. He does speeches, he builds things in other countries. He's an activist, he does his thing. And he talks with a bit of a proper grit. He's from Harlem just like me. Homeboy do not play that. I remember when I first met him in 2004, he came to the crib and we went to some show in VA. This nigga had a double-edged knife and he was about to get busy on some promoter that didn't have his money. I was like, oh, homeboy, wow. You feel me? Chino XL. Oh, my shit hurt. Chino XL. Shout out to Triple Darkness, who's been making a comparison to me with Chino XL and shit. I don't really see it rhyme wise, but I think I get an idea of what he sees. I think it's more of a style thing. I've been checking out Chino XL. You know, I've been around him and shit. And that's the funny thing. Like Immortal Technique, Chino XL. It's funny how we're all affiliated with same circles, Rebel Arms and all this, and this one knows that one. They all know my man. I know Tech. I Neck. You know what I'm saying? It's a real funny thing. But Chino XL, another one. I tend to notice that his personality is comparable to me. And you know, that was a Mensa dude. He's been considered genius as a child and all that. You know, so, but he's a hood dude. That's the whole point I'm saying. Like Chino XL, Tech, me, we all have at least reputations of getting busy and fucking niggas up to some degree or another or something like that. You feel me? Them on a more known level because they're more known. Rest in peace to Chino XL, by the way, if I didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're more known. But in our circles and everything, niggas know what time it is. Like, ain't nobody treating us like we're some herbs or we're not hood or nobody thinking that. Niggas know what's up. But people like that, people like me, and I'm sure countless others, we don't got to limit ourselves. We're not trying to fit into somebody's mold. We're creating the standard, or we're raising the standard that other people could aspire to be. Matter of fact, other people don't aspire to fit into my standard. Fit into your own standard. That's what it is. We're killing the standard. There is no template. There is no limit. That's how new shit develops. That's how innovation happens. You don't artistically look at a gangster rapper or somebody that's from the hood and say, oh, if you don't fit these limited ass checkpoints and if your vocabulary is too much, ain't nobody gonna fuck with it. We don't fuck with that. No. But the funny thing is, this person that did this, and I kid you not, a few minutes later, after he was talking his little bullshit, Tone Spacey on some other shit, not cool and all that, the nigga had the nerve to say, see, we gotta change the definition of cool. I am the change of that definition of cool. You know what I'm saying? So the very thing that I encompass being different, you know what I'm saying? Or to him anyway, standing out on some not fitting his vibe. Now, this is his vibe. I'm not accusing YJ or Port City or any of them other people of having such a limited scope and thinking that, you know, oh, you can't excel to this level and that. I'm just all LA. So not fitting his vibe is me. And yet a few minutes later, he's saying like, oh, we got to go out this standard that's already there. So the nigga's like fucking confused. Like, he don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But the point of what I'm saying is all that nerd bullshit stuff, it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, a gangster rapper can't say this. Then he was getting on Brian Vlogs. Oh, when you rap, you ain't supposed to say this in your rap or this, that, or talk about the beat when you're in it. Only if you produce it could you talk about the beat. If you rap it, you shouldn't be talking about the beat. Oh, you talking about you got the gat. Nobody says that. Motherfucker Brian Vlogs says that wherever he's from. That's his shit. He's been doing his shit for years. How he likes it. You talking about, and had the nerve to claim that you cool with this man Brian Vlogs, but you're gonna tell this man, yo, I'll tell you what, if you send me any of your songs for me to play or to critique or to play, I'm gonna critique it and we won't be cool again. It's like you trying to feed this nigga compliment sandwiches. Eat a dick sandwich. Let that man do him. Saying, oh yeah, we're cool. You got some good beats, your 10 best beats, put them forward. You could be the next Dr. Dre. But yeah, when you rhyme, yeah, I don't want to not be cool with you. So you know what you should do? Take one of your songs where you're rhyming on it and you did the beat. And I want you to take your verses off, keep the chorus, send it to me, and I'll rap on it. What type of... It's understandable why virtually everybody doesn't get along with this nigga. It's little shit like that. Like, he had no problem in saying that. He didn't think in his mind that was disrespectful. Trying to disrespect that man and his shit. Whether you like his rhymes or if you don't, it's his. If I were to mimic Brian Vlogs right now and spit some shit, and it sounds like Brian Vlogs, the people that are familiar with Brian Vlogs would be like, yeah, that sounds like Brian Vlogs. Why? Because he has his own style, his own flow, his own vibe. That's what he does. Now, if he is open to critique or improvement or something and reaches out, I'd be happy to talk with him and we could, trade. We could talk shop and shit like that, trade recipes and whatnot. But anything aside from that, let that man do him. And the funny thing is, you don't do anything near as Brian Vlogs. This nigga stay churning out songs, beats. He'll do them joints live. This nigga will tell you he can't write a verse under 3 weeks times. And you have the nerve to be talking to somebody that has way more output, is way more creative, because he does his own beats with no samples. And I always thought that was fire. I do that too a lot, but sometimes I do use samples. But he does that exclusively. And you have the nerve to tell this man, yo, take your verses off a song, send it to me, and then I'll get on it and keep the chorus. The fuck? That's just mad disrespectful. But that's another thing about a limited mentality, because it doesn't fit into this nigga's image that he's being a follower and he's considering to be the image to be. Since it doesn't fit into that, it's out of here. It ain't shit. Gangsters don't use words. Essentially, that's what it sounds like to me, because no words off limit. And if I use a certain word, I'll put it in context where other people learn. And if they want to do it, they learn something. Each one teach one. Simple as shit. But you ain't going to get anywhere with some each one teach one shit if you a follower and you have this template that you think motherfuckers is supposed to be like. Even like with the food stamp shit that niggas was talking about. I wasn't really arguing about food stamps at the end of the day. When I was saying, food stamps is gangster. Y'all niggas is looking at the action. I'm talking about a mentality. It's not about, if you get food stamps, you gangster, or if you get food stamps, you're not gangster because you got food stamps. No, the gangster aspect I'm talking about is having the mentality of not being a follower and adhering to some social stigma. If you get food stamps, you broke, this, that, the third. It's free money at the end of the day. So if in somebody's gangster playbook that they're writing up, they feel like checking off that and going getting that, as well as going getting whatever else they want, they're gangster not because they got the food stamps. They're gangster because they didn't let some bullshit stigma get in the way of them doing what they felt they wanted or had to do. So yeah, that's gangster. It's just as gangster to not get food stamps or to have the mentality like, yo, I don't even want that energy. That's for the niggas that's assed out, they living bad. Let them have that. I'm on some gangster shit. I'm after the big bag. I don't need that shit. That's gangster too. You feel me? But at the end of the day, it's about a mentality. You could replace food stamps with anything that people would try to put a standard on, a standard of being like. Replace it with anything. And the nigga that does that and doesn't give a fuck, yes, that is what's a gangster move and shit like that, So yeah, this shit crazy. Oh yeah, real quick, now I ain't gonna get too far with it because fuck why, but this nigga's woman, I caught something, as she said, talking about Rio James is all I'm gonna say about that. I ain't gonna even go hard on her or anything, but I caught some shit talking about he's all black and shiny, and that in the dark all you see are his eyes and his teeth. This white pale woman is trying to crack black jokes. Nah, B, it don't work like that. That's Watch Your Mouth season. Watch Your Mouth season is open on that. And any of y'all niggas in the chat room that's black that's just letting that slide are fools. But let me school you about the black and shiny thing. At the end of the day, a shiny skin complexion is healthy skin that produces healthy oil. And quite often, a melanated black ass motherfucker may tend to have that healthy, shiny skin. The dried up, shriveled up skin, pale situation can't relate. But black and shiny is a good thing. That's not a point of dissing. Being able to see his eyes and his teeth only because he's a black ass nigga. Yeah, that's a black melanated ass nigga. That's a good thing. And as per work and connections that he's made, his black acidness has been appreciated by a couple females, to my understanding. So shout out to that, and thumbs down to that old racist ass bullshit right there. That's all I say about that shit right there. But yeah, man, I'm gonna come with a little part two real quick. I don't know what that was supposed to be. I was gonna do a thumbs up and a piece, and it just came out.